If you're good at your job but wonder whether you're in the right career, and financial advisory keeps coming up as an option, the real question isn't can I do it? It's can I do it without becoming someone I'm not? Adriann entered this industry as an introverted engineering student. 20 years later, he built a team while proving that you don't need to fake extroversion to succeed. Adriann, please walk us through your journey.
Okay, so hi, my name is Adriann. I'm actually from AIA, currently a director under AIA FA WFG organization. So I've been in the industry for almost more than 20 years itself. And ironically, my background doesn't come from any banking or finance. I was an engineering student, and I started this career when I'm a student.
Probably share with the audience, right? Currently, you mentioned you're a director. And how long did it take? How long was it for you in terms of your sales journey, leadership journey? How big is the team? Give us more details.
I have been in leadership journey for about 10 years, close to 10 years. My journey is those, fast and furious kind. So I've been, in the sales for almost more than 10 years or 15 years before I decided to take the leap into a leadership journey. The reason is probably because I think I want to challenge myself to do something different. Yeah. So at that point in time, the opportunity was given to me, and I thought, why not? Yeah, because to be honest, in our industry, right, as a consultant, right, you can be very comfortable. Means, right, without doing anything much, right, your income is very stable, is good enough for you to have a good lifestyle, So moving up to be a leader is not a necessity. Yeah, unlike most other career industry, right, where the only way for you to, progress is to move up. Yeah, but in our industry, it is a bit different. Yeah, so of course, you'll see a lot of consultants being around. I always tell people that, you see a lot of consultants being around like for 20, 30, 40 years. It's like they are doing the same thing year after year. How come they are not doing something else? Yeah, are they stagnant, and yet they can be enjoying the business. Yeah. So the unique nature of our business is that you can be doing the same thing, but actually you're still progressing.
I hear you.
Yeah, in terms of financially, in terms of your progression, in terms of your growth, in terms of your knowledge, skills, yeah, whatever it is.
You mentioned something interesting. You said that you were from the engineering background.
Yes.
And then you end up in the finance industry. Walk us through, how was your journey like?
For me, it was, I would say, it didn't come out front as I wanted to come into this industry. I mean, this is something that everybody say, nobody wake up and say that, I want to be an insurance agent. That's for sure. Yeah, even the most, the top agent or the top leader, right? They will not tell you that since young, this was their dream. Yes. And for me, it's the same. I came from engineering background. And then because I guess I was good at it, but I always wanted to do some form of business or finance related kind of things because I feel that is something that I would want to do in the future. This opportunity came to me when I was just finishing my NS, going for university education, and then I met up with my agent who's still in the same organization as me. Yeah, so he was coming to me, and then we were having a chat with regards to my policies, all this, and we spent like almost 2 hours at a coffee shop near my house in the afternoon. Yeah, so after that, at the end of the whole session, I was just curious. So I was asking him that, hey, do you need to go to work? Hey, you don't need to go to work. It's about 11 plus, it's going to reach lunchtime kind of thing. And then say that, oh, this is my work. Yeah, so I was quite taken aback because I think since young, right, you see your parents, they will go out to work in the morning, 8, 9, and then they come back at 5, 6. So that's not something that I would foresee. Yeah, so I thought, hey, wow, it was interesting. And then I was asking him, so do you have any, positions for students over there, anything I can do, admin, ops or whatsoever. So he was sharing with me, oh, you can be a consultant or agent. Yeah, so that was where it first triggered me because I wanted to do something related to business and finance. And although I'm studying engineering, I know that, if I were to also do the same in school, it might not give me the same kind of value. Yeah, I wanted something more practical, something that is really, you can go into the industry and really learn about it. Yeah, to me, it was more of a form of knowledge coming in to actually do something different. So that's how I stepped into industry unknowingly. Also to earn some part-time income. Students will earn some part-time income for ourselves. So I thought since I can earn and I can learn, why not? Yeah.
And one thing I'm intrigued, right, to ask, right, is that you mentioned that most of parents will be out there working 9 to 5.
Yes.
And because of that agent of yours have that kind of flexibility, that kind of freedom, why was that such a compelling reason or, for you to join actually?
At that point in time, quite simple. I was a student. I need the flexibility. If not, how can I juggle between my studies and doing something? So to me, having a part-time job, right, in any other kind of basis is you exchange time for money. Means if you're going to give tuition, let's say you're going to give at the rate of $50 per hour. Yeah, so you got to exchange 1 hour for $50. You can't exchange half an hour for $50. Or you're going to work in some F&B events. This is the kind of student work that I know of. Yeah, and I don't want to be put in that kind of position. So when this come about, I thought it really gives me the flexibility to manage what I want, yet at the same time can give me an income. And most importantly, it also helps me in terms of learning more about the industry.
So if I can summarize for you, right, what I'm hearing is that number one is because it fits your schedule as
yes. Very simple. Very simple.
Yeah, it fits your schedule, number one. Number two, you genuinely don't like the idea of trading time for money. You want to be paid based on the value you provide. And number three, you get to learn when you step into this industry.
Yes.
Right. So, can you share with us, right? Because you keep mentioning the word value. What does value mean to you?
I think being able to learn something that it can be useful for my future in my career. Because at that point in time, I would say my thinking is quite simple. Basically, gain as much as I can so that when I graduate, I can move as fast as I can. Whatever that comes to me that I feel that that's something that, I can pick up, something that I can learn, something that I can make use of in future, whether, you use it into your resume or into whatever kind of work experience that you have, I will try to go and do it. Yes.
If you don't mind me challenge you a little bit, where did that belief came from of like accumulating as much skills, experience so that you can have more value? Where did that came from? Do you model after parents or what do you learn from, or where do you get this idea of being more, gaining more value?
No recollection. Yeah.
No recollection. You realize that since young
it's
you have
just
always...
something that, I always say since young but it's just something that comes to me when I started my uni. During my study days, I think I got relatively good grades. So in fact, I was aiming for scholarship already. So I didn't come from, a well-to-do kind of family background. So scholarship is one way for me to actually, have a form of backing. Yeah, knowing that, my school fees will be paid for, knowing that I have a secure job. So that was my very first thought, during my school days, before my university. But that didn't come true. Somehow, at that moment of my A-levels, I didn't do as well as I would like it to be. Yeah, so that didn't come true. Then I have to look for an alternative. So yes, I did even consider signing on. Yeah, but my parents don't really, encourage me because since young, I wasn't too strong physically. So to them, they feel that you are not that strong physically, and then you want to go and carry guns, run up and down a mountain. I think they feel that is not something for me. Yeah. Then we, about the ideas. And then that's where, when I go into uni, then I have that thinking that, I must do something. Yeah, I must do something about this 4 years so that to put me in a better position.
So why is putting you in a better position important to you?
Why is that important?
Yeah, why is that important to you?
I think to me, I always, it gives me more opportunity, I would say, in terms of future career options. And I think financially, and also to be able to do well in your career. I mean, simple facts. I guess that's something that everyone wants to do. But the thing is, how do you do? How are you going to do it? Yeah, and what can you do? Yeah, so to me, at that point in time, my way of doing it is to maximize the kind of time that I have so that I can do something that is probably different from others. So that I can present this to maybe my future employers. Yeah.
And if I may challenge you and ask a little bit more private about family, how was family like? You mentioned a little bit, you said that at home you were not born rich and your family not the most well-to-do. Share with the audience a little bit so that they have a better understanding how things like at home.
Things like at home, okay, I can't say for sure that, we are the very poor kind that can't afford holidays and things like this. We would consider as below average income. So ironically, my dad is a salesman. Yeah, so he was a salesman, but he's doing some form of F&B sales. Yeah, so scalability wise, is probably not something that he is able to lah. I mean, looking at it, and then of course, traditional family. My mom is a housewife, and me and my sister. So we stay in a HDB flat all these years. Yeah, ever since we were born and young. So we get by with things, school fees, food, and whatever that we want. I think my parents tried to provide me, given the opportunity to even like travel overseas during school days, etc. But we don't have the ability to go for something bigger. Yeah, so when it comes to even school fees, then we explore loans. Yeah, so especially I think uni fees, we explored taking loans, and then that's where I was taught that one of the way up, yes, is for me to have scholarship so that this can be taken care of. And if I don't have scholarship, then I need to work for it lah. Yeah, and I can't wait until I finish my uni for me to work for it.
I first appreciate you for the vulnerability, because now the audience have a better glimpse like why Adriann is so hardworking at a young age, and it's because of the fact that you did not want to always be relying on your parents or adding extra burden to your parents. That's why you worked really, really hard. But when you did that and you did not get a scholarship, you felt disappointed. And that's why you start looking for even more opportunities. Whatever that doesn't limit you, you are open to that. Yes. And hence you saw this opportunity of financial advisory.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing with us wholeheartedly. And the next question I want to ask, right? At a young age where resources were restrained, what was your relationship with money like?
Relationship with money like?
Were things like scarcity? Were things was very abundant? You feel that like, what was your relationship with money like?
Definitely not abundant lah. Yeah, so got to be very, I won't say very careful with what I spend. On my own, as a form of, what do you call that? Maybe in nature, I'm not someone who spends quite a lot of money, or it could be because of my background. I wouldn't know that. Yeah, so I do save, and yeah, generally we don't spend much. Yeah, so for this part of things.
Yeah, and how did your experience, with money, knowing that things are tight last time, right, help you in this career, especially you're dealing with money day in, day out, right? Financial advisory. How was the process like for you? Because you were a fresh grad, new, back then you were in engineering. Suddenly you need to teach people money. How was the process like for you, the transition?
This part of the process, right, wasn't the challenge for me.
That was
because I think I'm good with numbers. So probably that's why I end up in engineering, because I feel that I'm not good with language. I almost failed my English, my Chinese also cannot make it. So the moment I don't take it, either I don't take it. So that I definitely don't go into that path of what arts are, science, etc. So my natural inclination at that point in time was something that I'm good at, which is numbers. There was only a few options, business, engineering, and I chose engineering because I thought business is something that you can pick up on the go. Yeah, you don't need a degree to learn about business and marketing. Yeah, so the numbers wasn't the challenging part, but to me, the challenging part was finding and getting customers and talking to them. Yeah, because I am a natural introvert, you call that. Yeah, someone who don't really like to talk. Someone who would have challenges talking to strangers.
Yeah, so elaborate, how did someone like that in the industry for 20 years, doing well,
So ironically, this is something that I wanted to do when at the first thought coming into this country, because I know that this is something that I'm not good at. Yeah, speaking in front of people, talking, being able to present. And I wanted to overcome this because I thought this is something that's important. So this, when I first came into this industry, so I would thought that this is something that can help me in that sense. And by doing so, I can also earn some money. Why not? Yeah, so that was one of the reasons I came into this industry. And yes, I do struggle, have certain kind of struggles because it doesn't come naturally to me. So it took me quite a while, especially during my uni days, to kind of overcome this part of me. Yeah.
So when you mention that, despite all the difficulties, you still push through because you want to see growth in yourself, what other kind of growth, right, do you observe in yourself throughout the years actually? If you can share a few with the audience.
I think most importantly, coming to this industry, it helped me grow to be more confident. Yes, be it, talking one-to-one with somebody, be it being able to even share in front of a stage of 100, 200, 300. It gives me the opportunity to do so. And most importantly is you have to put yourself out there. Yeah, so by putting yourself out there, you have no choice. So the other way is you just have to move lah. Yeah, so things like going for road shows. When my first few road shows itself, I just have to act like I'm very confident. I then go to people, and I think surprisingly I close. So I was quite like, hey, actually this thing works. I was telling my colleague, hey bro, this thing works. You just continue. I still remember my first one. After that, I just tried, hey, really close. Then after that, I need to go off because I need to go to school. Then I tell them, hey bro, this thing works. Just go and do it. And then we were there for like years. Yeah, doing so-called of a road show and cold call itself. Yeah, I think the results also help. I always tell people that doing something that doesn't come in naturally to you, right? At the end of the day, you must see a good outcome. If not right, then it will just, you just move backwards. As a leadership role in this context itself, I always try to make sure that at the end of the day, when my consultant starts doing something, especially the new ones, the very most important thing is they must see results. Yeah, because if they don't see, they will feel that whatever they are not good at doing it, so that's why they cannot get the results. And because they don't get the results, and somehow they're not confident to do it. So the self-esteem and all this will come into play, and then you just spiral downwards, and then you're gonna get results. But the moment you get it, then you will just spiral outwards.
It seems like for yourself, right, it is very practical that you're giving this advice because you've been through the hard path, right? Yeah. Of like trying and not seeing results. And eventually when you saw the result, self-esteem went up.
Yeah.
So now you're trying to recreate this process for your consultants.
Yes.
Share with us, right, when you support your consultants to get results, what are some things that you tend to do to help them, enable or empower them? Share with us in details.
Of course, things doesn't come straight away. Like today I was a leader, 1-2 months later, I know all the tips and tricks, and then things start to work. It also took me quite a while and going through many kind of trials to be probably where I am today. Yeah, I won't say that, I'm the top leaders, but I think I have built quite a strong team itself. And through the process, I think what was some mistakes that I have made upfront is thinking that after a couple of sales, the consultants are ready to go on their own. Yeah, and two, the other thing that I think I didn't manage to do is I would think that knowledge and skills is everything. Yeah, that was what I had beginning, as long as this guy, just do the whatever that you need to do in terms of calling, I give you the knowledge, I give you the skills, you should be able to hit it off, and then off you go. But things doesn't work this way. And I realized that consultants are more vulnerable than what we think to be. And when they always say they're okay, actually most of the time they're not okay. Yeah. So that was kind of a realization. And also like, a lot of times we always feel that why can't they be like us? Yeah, that was my beginning. Yeah, then over time I realized that actually they are not us. Yeah, every one of them is different. And you really have to be able to look into their strength and then as well as their challenges. And then from there, how you can actually support them.
Yeah. So what are some of your strengths that actually help you to support them better? You as a leader, you as a person.
I think a few important things is I always want to make sure that my guys have things to do. Yeah, so I try to as much create opportunities. I'm someone who likes to. I wouldn't say creative, but more of thinking of ways to grow the business. So I will always be, at the forefront of where to, find new leads, where to, go for any partnership, anything, that I felt that can help them in terms of growing the customers, engaging the customers, and I'm always very open to ideas. Mm-hmm. So whenever anyone comes to me, whether it's my consultants or, my people or even someone external, I'm open to it. Anyone who tells me that, we have this, things that can be done, we have this thing and this and that, I'm very open to listen more and assess. Mm-hmm. Yeah, through the process of it, I think I did a lot of activities for them. So we are probably one of the first to start digital lead gen. Yeah, and we are still doing this now. And we also did events. After COVID, we came up with our own events, the 6 or 7 of us. Yeah, and then we also started quite a number of other things. Yeah, offhand, I can't quite recall. Yeah, but a lot of this initiative doesn't come from me. It comes from them. I always believe that, if you don't try, you never know. But when you try, right, you have to be prepared that you may fail. Yeah. So every time we try something, right, there's always I always tell them, there's a 50% chance of failing. You don't think that there's an 80% chance of failing. So even recently we had a webinar and then it's like we thought, we can have a lot of people. Actually, I'm not very optimistic. I feel like, okay, let's try and do it. But I do it because they want to do it. So I supported them and then we come to it. At the end of the day, I think only 15. We still go with it, sharing with them. The end day, not everything will work well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we need to assess, evaluate, and most importantly, think that whether should we continue with this. Yeah, mm-hmm. So that's the same kind of encouragement that I will give to my consultants. Mm-hmm. Every time when they come on board, they say that they want to do this, they don't want to do this, or they felt that whether they can do or not. I always say, you never know until you try. Yeah, you may think that you can't, but after you go into it, who knows, things may happen. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing from you is that the open-mindedness that you have creates a lot of opportunities, a lot of ideas for you and your team.
Yeah.
Right? To create sustainability in your business. So apart from that, right, my bold assumption is that you mentioning that you're from engineering background, you really mentioning that not so good at the language, more towards the English and science, the math and science.
Yeah.
You're giving me a hint that you're very analytical. Would you find that you are, and how has that helped you also if you are?
I guess as a leader, or rather now, this part of things helps me look at things look at things from different angle. So whether be it coming to helping with a consultants, and then also doing things on an operational basis. Yeah, so I would not. First of all, I think the important thing is that we don't just rush into things. Yeah, so being analytical will help you to see things from a different point, which means that you actually sit back and then look at it again. I would always want to make sure that things, are being put in place. Yeah, before we take action.
Can you share one story or one episode with one of your consultant, right? How your analytical skill has helped them?
I guess one of my core, I would say ability but more of something that I feel I got is some of my consultant was telling me that I help them to look at their blind spots. That is something that I thought, maybe there's something different, because I will look at their numbers. We will look at their activities, the things that they've been doing, things that done correctly, things that they don't do correctly, and then assess the situation. And then from there, see what else can we do, or in the process of it, where did we go wrong? So sometimes my coaching session could have a very long moment of silence where they will really think, where are the issues and gaps? So I will tell them, you take your time, think through it, and let me know, share with me, where do you think was the part that maybe we can work on. Yeah, so that helps them to really uncover certain areas of either gaps, competencies, or things that may have missed out of. Yeah.
So me being a devil advocate, I just want to ask as well, knowing that you have a couple of strengths as a leader, what are some of the weaknesses that you might have as a leader as well, that you experience throughout the years of leadership?
Okay, I will come across I always that there are other leaders whom share with me, or even my own leader, my boss was telling me that I am not so aggressive when it comes to pushing for outcome results and getting FSCs to really be more disciplined in terms of their habits. Yes, so I guess that I would consider as one of the weakness, because even my FC will tell me, hey, I need my boss to push me. Adrian, can you tell me to do more? Can you push me more? And things like this. So yes, over the years, I have, tried to do that. Then I would tell myself, why not find a better way of doing it? Yeah, so when I do this kind of, when we push for this kind of results, I tend to do it on a group basis than on an individual basis.
Elaborate more. What do you mean by that?
So I will have things like accountability. Yeah, and the accountability is not on my own, but on everybody's. Yeah, so that each of us will have a certain things that we will commit to doing it. Yes, and so I hold a lot of group meetings for this kind of authority. And when it comes to individual coaching, I don't really coach for outcome. Yeah, I coach more for gaps, more for development area, more for things that you can do more. Yeah, rather than the actual outcome or results itself. I let the team run the results. Means they have that accountability to the whole group. Yeah, rather than to me or individual. Well, I always feel that at the end of the day, right, in this industry, in this business, for someone to be able to do well, at the end of it is your accountability to yourself and not to me. Yeah, it is always about, so what do you want to do? Are you happy with it? Do you think it is good enough? Do you think you can do more? Yeah, if you can do more, then what can you do for you to achieve more? Yeah, rather than I tell you that actually you can do more. Yeah, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. And when you do this and this and this, you should be able to achieve that and that and that. But that is not what you want. Yeah, that is what I tell you to do. Will you do it for me? Maybe yes, but will you be happy doing it? Maybe not. Yeah. So I believe in efforts, not results, because effort is something that you can control, but not the results itself. And at the end of the day, if you have put in your efforts in terms of whatever numbers that you have, I believe the results will come. If the results doesn't come, then that's where coaching comes into play.
So just now you mentioned, right, when you coach your advisors, results is something that you always prioritize, because results bring self-esteem going up. But now you're saying that when you coach them, you focus on their efforts. How does that link up?
Being so many years in the industry, I've seen a lot of people come, a lot of people go as well, and a lot of people stay. Some thrive, some don't. And I come to a certain realization, or rather because I'm analytical, so I use stats as an example. So I say that statistically speaking, end day, right, people who are able to do well and be able to achieve certain results and continue to stay in industry, right, is because they put in enough effort. Yeah, simply put, everything else will come in place as long as you put in the effort. If you are not having enough sales appointment, they'll just call more and have more sales appointment. If you feel that you are not able to present well, then go for training, go for classes, learn, practice. It's also effort. Yeah, if you don't have product knowledge, go for classes, go for exams, because there's also efforts, because the efforts to learn, efforts to practice, and effort to see people. And if all these are in place, I don't see any reason, why someone cannot have results. Yeah.
So you mentioned a lot on you focusing on your guys, your consultants, making sure that they're doing the right activities, the right efforts. Eventually they get the results. I love that. So another question that I want to ask you, right, is knowing that there are a lot of different type of advisors out there. what kind of advisors you find naturally, easy for you to coach, to work with? At the same time, what kind of advisors you don't feel there's a chemistry working with as well?
I'm an introvert. So naturally, I don't know how to talk well. Naturally, I don't know how to get them to naturally engage people, influence people, make people like you. So this is something that I don't know about others, but I feel that it cannot be taught one. I don't know how to teach you how to get people to like you, how to have a very meaningful conversation. So when people comes on board, right, I always say, wow, that is the most challenging. I can, teach you skills. I can teach you how to present, ask difficult questions, etc., etc., etc. Sales pitch, no issue. But you ask me to teach you how to talk to people, how to start off the conversation, or in a group or settings, right, starts to engage them. To me, if you come in and naturally have that, I think I can complement very well. But if you are someone who don't have that, coming in thinking that I will be able to, help you on that, maybe that will be a challenge to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for your own recruitment process, right?
Yeah.
You've seen so many types of people. Can you describe to us what are people, or what kind of advisors have you rejected before? What kind of advisors have you warmly accepted to your team?
For advisors itself, I think some of the important traits that I would have look out for is most importantly to me, if you're able to be able to confidently talk to people. So that's one that I look at. Okay, if you don't have that, I guess it's fine, because I also don't have that. I mean, I'm still here. I always tell them that. But the important thing about this group of people is they must really want it. Yeah, because if they don't want it, then their weakness will be a reason for them to fail. Yeah, but if they want it, right, then they will turn their weakness into something. At the end of the day, they will find ways to overcome. Yeah, so that's important. So I would see that if these are the people, naturally, they are just not being able to, engage people, talk to people. And at the end of the day, they're coming in to try. I think that might be a challenge. Yeah, that might be a challenge. But if they are coming in and they really want to make this into something permanent, I would believe they can overcome, just like myself. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question that challenges you. There's so many leaders in this industry. Why would someone want to choose you, or what make you the best mentor for this particular kind of audience?
A lot of, I won't say a lot lah. So my leader, my guys, what they feel about me is that they felt that I'm more of a nurturing person. This is what they say of me lah. Nurturing means I'm patient, being supportive, and trying to help in whatever ways that I can to help them. So if you're someone who feel that you really need support, you really feel that yes, this is something that I really want to be, but maybe I need a bit more time. I need someone to really help me, along the way, encourage and support me. Then I think I'm able to help and I'm able to support. And a lot of the things that I come up with, or rather things that I strategize for the team, also goes into this direction. Like for example, I think last year I came up with this mentorship program, which I thought, okay, the thinking through, right? Because at one stage I do have quite a number of consultants on board, but I couldn't support them because that in this industry, right? If you understand the industry is where the new agents comes in, they go for appointments, all this, the leaders will come with them because the agents are not confident, they are not able to talk, they are not able to close, they're not sure about the product. But the problem is how much time you have to go for them, especially if they have a lot of appointments. There's no way that you are able to, support all the way, because somehow things will clash, and then some things along the way couldn't make. And then along the way, they might feel discouraged because my leaders couldn't have all the time for me, but not because we don't want to, but sometimes situation doesn't help us. So I came up with this format, especially because some of my new consultants, especially when they're doing a lot of cold calls, right? So when you're doing a lot of cold calls, every single appointment is challenging. Every single appointment is important. Yeah, and if you leave a new agent probably like 1, 2, 3 months there on their own, 99% chance they will fail. That's my thoughts. 90% chance they will fail. But if you bring someone with them, I think the chance becomes 50-50. Yeah, but the problem is I can't be there all the time, especially if you talk about cold call, right? Then the numbers are so big. Yeah, that if you have 3 or 4 doing that, you probably have like 10, 20 appointments, 30, 30 appointments a week. Then it's not possible that I can support. So I came up with this process called 3+1 teaming, 3+1 teaming, whereby myself together with 2 senior consultants, what we do is that we will support 1 new consultant. So how do we support is that when this new consultant, and that's for them if they are decided to do like cold calling, means over the phone, fix an appointment, not the roadshow kind. Because roadshow, definitely there's someone there. So that one I don't have to worry about. But more of this kind of environment where they have to meet people over Zoom on a face-to-face. They just need to put that appointment into the group. One of us will pick it up. Yeah, and so I always tell them, I'll guarantee that there will be someone with you in the first 3 to 4 months, whether it's myself or the senior consultants. And these people are people who have been there and done that. Means they have also done all this cold call before. They have managed to close. So I'm not going to put someone that, actually I never do before, boss. Never mind, I just support her. Yeah, I think that also doesn't, breed confidence. Yeah, so that is something that I have started this year. Yeah, and so far it's been working well for some of my new consultants as well. Yeah, so I guess that is the kind of, if you talk about the support that I try to give to new agents itself.
If I may summarize, then thank you for sharing that. If I may summarize, right, what I'm hearing, right, is that for you, you're very self-aware about your strength, your weaknesses. For example, like, hey, I'm not the best at communication. I cannot teach you that how to inspire or persuade or influence people. But you managed to overcome your own struggles to do that for yourself. And now you find it challenging to duplicate this for others to learn. But that being said, you have plenty of strengths that you can present to the group. For example, you also mentioned that, for you, ideas come very quickly because you're very open-minded. At the same time, because of your analytical skills, you can catch blind spots quick. So what I'm understanding or the way I'm seeing things is that you're able to diagnose your consultants' problems clearly. At the same time, you can prescribe them solutions that might help them to get breakthrough in their career. And overall, as an individual, right, you are someone that's quite patient, nurturing. You're not the kind of rah-rah leader that pressure them, force them, but you're very soft, amicable,
No, and the results still speaks.
Of course. Of course.
After all the soft whatever approach, nurturing all this, right? I think you still need the results. I always tell them, no matter how, whether nurturing or not pushing, ultimately, your survival in this industry, right? There's only one thing. Yeah, which is results. Yeah,
I hear you. So that's the kind of impression that most of the audience have of you as of now. So I want to enter the next segment, right, where I ask you rapid questions. For example, what are some practice that you don't appreciate, that you will not do it to your own advisors, for example, if you don't mind sharing?
A great leader or a good leader is it's not supposed to bring someone to where they want to be, but where they ought to be. A lot of people who probably done very well, but are they happy or are they fulfilled? You should still, try to bring your guys to as far as you can, as much success as you can. But the important thing is always still to bring them where they want to be. And where they ought to be, I think it is up to them. Because when they reach where they want, they will want they may want a higher peak. They may want higher peak, and that's where how you can support them and help them. The higher peak is not what you tell them to do. The higher peak should be what they tell themselves to do. Yeah, and then when they reach there, I guess they will be fulfilled and they'll be happy. But if the higher peak is what you tell them that they should do, yes, they will reach there, but will they be happy? Maybe not, because they might have paid certain price that they will regret.
So it sounds like you're someone who values a lot of balance in life.
Yes.
And share with us a little bit more, like, why is that so important to you?
I think this industry allows you to do so, as compared to many other, work career out there where the more you do, or the longer you stay in the industry, people around you, whether it's your family, your friends, because as you progress in your position, you have to do more for your work in order to be paid reasonably. I have clients who are MDs, probably 365 days, 200 days, they're not around. Yeah, because they have to fly. I have clients who probably don't even have much time, to spend with their family and things like this. Of course, unless what you're looking for is really financial, income and success. Yes, then by doing so here, you could have double or triple your income. Then by all means, they should do it. But if this is not what you are looking for in this career, then you got to find and ask yourself. But having said that, again, I always need to bring my guys back that end day, right? Yes, you could be enjoying, the flexibility of work that you have here, but you cannot forget that this is still work. Yeah, this is not a volunteer job where you happy come, you happy don't come kind of things. But at one point in time, I have quite a fair bit of challenges with some of my consultants who are feeling very comfortable. They will like, okay lah, 有就做咯，没有无所谓啦。In Chinese they call that lah. I don't know how to translate English, but yeah. So that is the kind of mindset and thinking. Then everything else is more important than work. It's like, my mother say need me to go buy this. My father need to do this. My wife asked me. Then I was like thinking, why everybody asks you to do all these things? All these things seems to be more important than your work. Yeah. So I will kind of question at the end of the day, right? Are you here like a Grab driver or are you here as a businessman? Yeah. So your mindset coming in is very important. If you're a mindset of a businessman, I think you'll tell all of them that, hey, today I got work. Let me try to find time lah. Of course, because of my flexibility, yes, I can accommodate, I can support, but doesn't mean that will become a priority. I still need to balance the things out. If you don't treat this business as a business, you treat this as a freelance, then you get a freelance kind of outcome lah. If you treat this as a business, then you'll get a business outcome. So how do you treat this as a business? Then it should be a priority, A businessman, right? First, you seldom see businessmen take MC. I don't know, but I see the bosses, right? They don't take MC, they don't go for holidays. Strangely, they just spend all their time, effort into the business. And generally, these are the kind that will see lots of success. Yeah, but a freelancer is maybe you see them today work, today don't work lah. Yeah, and then they get the outcome of freelancer lah. The beauty and the demon of this business is you can be either. So the question is who you choose to be. Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that, right? So you talk about in the past, there's your poor experience working with some of the team members, right? Yeah. So what about the current culture in your team? How is it like?
So currently, growth. Yeah, growth is something that we go for. Fulfillment in the work that you do. Most of all being happy, doing what you're doing. Yeah, so fulfillment and happiness is important. Tying in with growth as well. And I think this is the culture that I have managed to create, especially in the last 4 to 5 years. So we have managed to have a year-on-year growth of at least 10%. Managed to double that in about 5 years in terms of the revenue by the team. So the growth doesn't come from having more people, but being internally, all of them actually did better. Yeah, we did a mid-year review and 80% of them was doing better than they were last year. Yeah, and this 80%, when I look at it, what I did last year, they were also doing better than they were the year before. Yeah, so I think overall, I'm quite happy with how things are going. Yeah, and I think we are on the right track. We are on the right track where whether be it in terms of results, be it in terms of team members being happy with what they are doing. Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, right? So there was this period where people are like freelancers, they work where they want to work. Yeah. And suddenly now you have like people on year growth. What was that transition that you had to do in order to make this shift?
I would say it takes time. And at the beginning of my leadership journey, during that period, we don't really have a lot of coming together kind of culture and opportunity. And then only later on at one point where we had a annual review and just thought that we have to put something in place. Yeah, if not, things will just be where it is. So I had a discussion with the team. Most importantly is the direction I'm going. Yeah, is it where they want to go as well? Because if it is not, then there's going to be a misalignment. And whatever things that you put in place, right, there's going to be certain conflict, certain unhappiness. There will be always a lot of there are always a lot of reasons to show up, but there's also a lot of reasons not to show up. So I start to put in place a number of such kind of things, like having a weekly meeting, having a weekly activities, and all these weekly meetings, activities does help in keeping their focus, so that every week when we are back, we talk about work. We also, talk about our life. We talk about things. We talk about, incentives to the companies. Or we are going to travel to this overseas trip. Yeah, what should we plan about it, and how should we go about this? So there's a lot of joy in this meeting. Of course, at the same time, there is also a lot of focus in the area of work lah. So I think that helps. And this has continued ever since after COVID. Yeah.
Were you forced to remove unsuitable candidates or consultants from the team
Forced
at any
to
point in
remove,
your career?
Yes.
Share with us a story.
So I have this guy who's with me for quite a number of years after he graduated. The thing is that I don't see him going anywhere when it comes to the outcome and results. And sometimes, how do you call that? Putting them here may not be the best thing to do for them there. Because if you are not able to grow, or you are not even able to, take care of yourself financially, then I think you should be at a better place. Yeah, so despite, whatever that I guess I've tried to do, yeah, I still feel that at the end of the day, I think it is the own FC 70%. So that's where I would say that I have to counsel them out eventually, to tell them that at the end of the day, you might be happier. Yeah, being somewhere else. Be it, yes, you may not like the 8 to 5 kind of job, but I think they're getting comfortable here. So they don't mind that. But I don't think that is the right place for them. Yeah. So then eventually they are back to, corporate. But I guess he's better off, whether financially. Yeah.
On the flip side, right, can you share what was your best case study, one of your consultant that you are the most proudest of? Share with us a story.
Actually, I'm proud of most of them.
What's one transformation or one particular person recent years that you recall or makes you very happy, fulfilled, that this person's changed so much?
Okay, so I think I have a consultant that achieved his MDRT after 10 years being in the career. First couple of years as an undergrad, then subsequently, as a full-time consultant. I won't say he's struggling. So he is able to perform, or rather, he's able to, produce decent results. But somehow things just stop there. Yeah, at certain years things goes very bad. Yeah, at certain years things go well. So there's a lot of instability, uncertainty about his results, but he always wanted to do well. So back in his mind, he's one of the, I would say, more hardworking ones. Yeah, he will come up with things. He will do lead gen, go and do cold call, etc., etc. In fact, when he first started off, I still remember I will go to do cold call with him. Yeah, be it standing at Raffles, you have some ideas and say, hey, let's go and do this. Then I say, okay, I support you. So we'll go to campus, and then we just stand there, talk to students, do some surveys, and then after that we will go for lunch, etc. Then one day he'll say, hey, let's print this brochure and go, Raffles Place and distribute. They say, okay, let's do it. And then we just do it. And but then it just didn't give that kind of explosive results or the results that he desired. Yeah. But I guess in the last couple of years, or I would say that probably last 1-2 years, things kind of changed. So last year, I guess, was the year he got his MNRT. But last year, he was off to probably one of his worst starts that he ever have. Didn't get the results he's supposed to get, doing a lot of things, going for, appointments with some of my, consultants were doing better, just so that he thought, he can take this opportunity to learn from them and see what he can do to make himself better. Yeah. So, but it doesn't work. Yeah. In fact, it makes things worse off. So at a certain point in time, I can't remember when I thought that, I need to really intervene. So if not, then it might just, continue to spiral downwards. Yeah, so I did my intervention. I had a coaching session with him. So I was just checking in with him, asking him that, how things doing. Yeah, so he was quite disappointed with what things are going. And he clearly doesn't know what he has to do to get things right. Yeah, so it was on the stage of loss and things like this. So that's where I tried to bring him back to, the days, or rather to let him recollect that actually he is someone that can do well. Yeah, so I was sharing with him that all this while actually you have been able to do it. Yeah, so you don't have to change yourself. You don't have to change yourself in order to achieve what you want to achieve, because the mark, where you are and where you want to be, the difference is only 25%. So that 20-25, to make up that 20-25%, is just doing 20-25% more, or getting a little bit of better results. You don't have to just change yourself totally, in order to achieve that. Yeah, so I was telling him that you should just, carry on what you're doing, but do more. Don't try to do something different thinking that it may help. Because in most cases, it may not help, because that's not you. Because he's trying to be someone that is not him. Yeah, he was going around with one of my consultants who's more like a very high energy person. Yeah, but he himself is not. So trying to, imitate, or rather trying to make himself to be like her. Yeah, which it doesn't work . Yeah, so anyway, to cut the story short, so after that, I think things really turned around. So eventually, at the end of the year, I think he has the highest. I mean, in terms of his results, this was his all-time best. And he managed to break through and got his MDRT. Yeah, on his own. The second half was already on his own. Nobody, came to him, or you go to anybody to help support. Maybe a bit of it, but then, yeah. So I guess that was one of the moments that I felt what I did help my consultant.
Awesome. Yeah, so another question that I can think of, which I think the audience are curious as well. What's your selfish and selfless reason, right, for starting a team?
Selfish and selfless reason. Selfish reason will be really more of doing something different for myself, something different. Yes, financially you could be more well off, but I always hear from people that you become leader, first few years is you don't make money, right? Yeah, that's what I heard from this industry, and true enough, first few years already don't make much money. Yeah, so if you tell me that financially you're better off, actually may not be the case. Yeah, so that's the selfish reasons. Yeah, for selfless reason, I guess I want to support consultants. Yeah, because I see, a lot of them, perhaps over the years in the industry, some of them, they might have been able to do better. But because perhaps moving, that they're going into the wrong direction, or they are not being given the proper guidance and support, they have to leave the industry. If given enough time, they might be able to do it. Yeah.
So one last question, right? For those advisors out there who are still not getting a breakthrough they're looking for, what kind of support, advice would you give them?
I think get a coach. Maybe not a mentor. It depends on whether the mentor fits into you, because sometimes what your mentor does and what you does is very different. Then by you trying to, trying to do things what your mentor does and thinking that it will work for you, it may not. Yeah, so getting a coach, and if it's a mentor, then it must be someone that has the same kind of value as you. Yeah. I think because bringing you to somewhere is not a one-off thing. It's not something that today I tell you, yes, I can tell you that, yes, you need to take initiative. I think that's very important in the industry. If you're a businessman, then you will make things work. Yeah, so that's one of the important traits that you need. But telling you that may not help you because, 1-2 months later, you'll be all forgotten. Yeah, you'll be back to where you are. So having a coach and mentor is well because they will bring you back. They will try to always bring you back. And it's very important, especially in this industry, the environment, because I can be the best mentor, but I get to see you maybe once a month, twice a month. And after that, you are put back into the environment where the people there does not motivate you to do what you want to do. Yeah, then you'll be back to square one. I think that is also something that will affect you. Yeah, so having that mentor or coach will help to bring you back, to where you want to be every now and then. So that is probably the most important factor. Yeah.
So for the advisors, after watching this video, they will really want to reach out to you. Where can they find you at?
Okay, they can reach out to me on my Facebook, Instagram, and of course, I have a couple of ebooks where you can actually read about my journey. Yeah, something that probably is different from most people lah. Yeah.
And what's your Facebook username or your Instagram username that they can find you?
You can find me on my social media, which I'll be attaching the link somewhere in this video.